What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is Expanded Thursday, and today we're going to start helping y'all get ready for regionals. I know last week we covered Night March, and this week we're going to cover a Flareon Vespiquen deck. Now, if you're going to Arizona regionals, this deck is still going to be one, like, people could consider it just a little bit. I know it wasn't played a lot during the last weekend of regionals because of Trevenant, but I think we are fine with Trevenant. Like, we played 4 Junipers, 4 Unknown, so we should be okay to beat that. Still a very rough matchup. Don't get me wrong, but I think this deck's good overall, especially since everybody's like hyping Eevee right now. I mean, Eevee is pretty much like the best deck in Expanded and Night March. And since Karen is not legal for that regionals, you can play these kind of decks. And I mean, why not? Why not play it? Try to give a woman hoorah before the Karen comes into set and destroys these Pokemon discarding decks. All right, so let's go over this deck and let's see what's it about. Now we know what Vespiquen does. We've seen this multiple times. Be Revenge 20, then 10 more damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile. But Flareon has the same exact thing as well. Vengeance does 20 and does 10 more damage to each Pokemon in your discard pile, which is great. It's kind of like playing an 8-8 Vespiquen line, but you have a fire attacker and a grass attacker to attack in certain situations, which is really cool. Now, we do play one Jolteon. Like I said, Dark is pretty much everywhere, so Jolteon can help you against those Eevee sometimes. Now, what I'm talking about here in a second, what I'm going to say right now is this list is actually based off of Kevin Baxter's second place list. I can't remember where it was, but he wrote a really good article about it. Now, his list played Gallade. Obviously, I opted not to play the Gallade because if you play the Gallade, you actually have a really hard Trevenant match. Unless you get a turn 1, the Gallade is amazing in an item lock deck. But if you don't go first and get the turn 1 Trevenant, you're going to lose anyway. So I cut the Gallade and instead played more supporter cards, which I think is a lot better for the Trevenant matchup. But make sure you check the article out. It's really good. I'll have a link down below in the description. It is from a couple months ago, but I promise everything still does matter in that article, so make sure you do check it out. Alright, guys, so Jolteon is for Eevee, like I said. And in this list, he does play Gallade, which can hit the Darkrai breakpoint, which is something that I don't think he covers, but hit for weakness on Darkrai seems great as well. So maybe it's worth it if you're not scared of Trevenant, but if you are scared of Trevenant, I would not play it. Now, the list, you do play 2 Eevees, the Signs of Evolution to search for 3 different types of evolutions, and a energy evolution ability. When you attach energy to this guy, you search your deck for that Pokemon. Alright, so like we have a fire, you put on that guy, you can search for Flareon on your first turn, which is really great. Alright, so there we go. 1 Audino. For the Busybody, once your turn before you attack, if this Pokemon is your hand, you may reveal it. If you do, heal 10 damage and remove a special condition from your active Pokemon, then discard this Pokemon. Now, sometimes people play like 2 or 3 because you get Busybody any turn to heal 10, but the thing is, usually Flareon and Vespiquen are getting one-shotted, so Busybody is not that useful. For the most part, I'm usually just like Compressor, like discard them all the way always automatically, but you could save them for like a deck that plays like a Selgor. Like if they paralyze you, you can Audino Busybody away, but then you're still in trouble because they can just knock you out next turn or knock you out, whatever. So I don't know. Audino is very weird. I've never really been a big fan of Audino, but the list did play one, so I kept it in there. And plus, another Pokemon you can discard to power up your Jolteons. I mean, not Jolteon, your Flareons and your Vespiquen. 1 Jirachi for Stellar Guidance to search your deck for any supporter card when it comes down the field. 2 Shaymin to help set up. So basically, there's your support Pokemon, and 4 Unown as well. Which, if it's on your bench, you discard to draw a card, which is another way to fill your Flareons and your Vespiquen's damage output. And 2 Wobbuffet. Now, the main reason why I play Wobbuffet is for a Selgor. A Selgor makes it where you cannot evolve Pokemon from your hand. But with Wobbuffet, you can shut that down because of Bired Barricade, which shuts down all abilities except for Psychic Pokemon. Now, sometimes this could work in weird ways. Like, you can retreat to Wobbuffet, send it up in the axe spot, and make your opponent can use Shaymins, which is really good. But like I said, it's mainly for a Selgor. I mean, not Selgor, for a Archeops, so that way you can evolve your Pokemon in your hand, which is really good. And that's, I'm going to say that's all the Pokemon you play, but that's 27 Pokemon in there, guys. So that's all the Pokemon you play, okay? So let's go over everything else. 4 Battle Compressor, discard 3 cards from your deck. We know what this does. 4 Ultra Ball, 4 via Seekers, okay? So we play 1 Blacksmith, which is really cool in this deck because it attached 2 Fire Energies from your discard pile to 1 of your Fire Pokemon, which makes your Flareons, you can Blacksmith 2 your Flareons, which is really cool. And also, I didn't talk about this, but Jolteon obviously makes your Pokemon a Lightning type, which is why it's great for Eevee. I don't know if I didn't say that. It makes your stage 1 Pokemon Lightning type, which is really cool. Alright, sorry about that. 2 Lysandre, bring a Pokemon off the bench. 1 in and 1 Ranger. Now, In the article, Kevin does talk about how like Giratina is a bad matchup sometimes, like a speed Giratina because they can Chaos Will and make it where you can't attach DCs. But now with Ranger, you can do that. You can Ranger to get like rid of the Quaking Punch, so you can discard a bunch of Pokemon as well, and you can Ranger to get rid of Giratina's Chaos Will, so that way you can put DCs on your Pokemon, which is amazing, and that's why you have to play it in this deck. And once you do that, if you like Ranger the knock out of Giratina, you're pretty much in good shape because they, for the most part, they can't really power up Giratina the following turn, which is great for you. For Juniper, max like Juniper, so that way we can try to hit it if we are playing against an item locking deck. One Xerosic to get rid of a tool card or special energy on the field, or on the field. Sorry, on your field. There we go. One Tropical Beach. And then you don't have to play Chalk Beach. You need to play like another Audino or something. But this is for turn 1. And also late game. Like late game, if you get in down to 1, you get Chalk Beach to draw 7 and end your turn, which is what the card does. Once turn, each player's turn, that player may draw to have 7 cards in their hand and end your turn. But if you go first, you can Chalk Beach, draw 7 and end your turn because you're not going to attack on the first turn. Now you could maybe swap this out like a Force of Giant Plants if you want to attack turn 1, but it's hard to get a bunch of Pokemon with discard pile on your first turn. It's not like Night March where you play Shaymin, blah, 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 do a bunch of stuff. Like, we're taking our time. We're going to slowly get Pokemon in there, and they're going to be good to go. 2 Float Stone to give your Pokemon a free retreat. 1 Life Dew, so that way if your Pokemon is knocked out, they take 1 less prize card. So they knock out a Vespiquen. Your opponent takes 0 prize cards, and they take a Flareon. They take 1 less prize card, which is why Life Dew is in here. So your opponent either has like, all right, I'm gonna knock out the Pokemon that's like hitting me in the face and take no prize cards, or Lysandre around and they get hit in the face again. So that's why Life Dew is so cool. 4 DC and 3 Fire Energy to help us out with the energy evolution, and so we go Blacksmith. For the most part, just Blacksmith onto Flareons. But there you go, guys. There's the Flareon Vespiquen deck. I think this deck's really strong. I think it can beat a lot of decks, and I mean, Arizona Region is gonna be so excited. I'm ready to see what's going to happen in Expanded. I'm ready to see what's going to be different. Is anything going to change? Is Nightmare still going to be really big? I mean, I know Nightmare and Eevee are going to be the best, like, 2 biggest decks. But we'll see what happens in a couple weeks. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and let's see the deck in action. Alright, pretty good. NBA plays Pokemon playing a Steel Grass something deck, and we'll call heads like always. Let's see what are we playing against today. We'll be able to go first, which is great. Maybe get some Combees or Eevees online. On to our turn. What's going to happen here, guys? Alright, so we got Combee. Oh, we get Compressor, we got Ultra Ball, maybe get an Eevee to play, maybe get Jolteon down if they're playing a Eevee deck, smack him for a ton of damage. The only thing I'm kind of concerned about is a Darkrai, but whatever, we got this. Combee, and Ultra, my opponent is going to select their starting Pokemon, and let's see what's going to happen, what comes down their bench, okay? And let's see what, okay, we'll press it done. And let's see what's going to happen. There's an unknown and an unknown, okay, so that does not tell me anything. Alright, so we're going to Ultra Ball, discard. I really think they're playing like a Zygarde Vileplume deck. So I'm gonna discard a Jolteon and a Blacksmith. And with this, I am going to grab, I guess, another Combee. Alright, so grab Combee. We'll put that down, Battle Compressor, and with the Compressor, we will discard a, we'll discard an N. If, okay, N's not in here, never mind. Okay, so N's prize, that's great. Man, I don't know if he's playing. I get so weird, like turn 1, we don't know if he's playing against anything really. So I'm going to discard a Juniper so we can use Vespiquen for it. I'm going to discard a Fire and another Fire. So that way you can maybe potential Blacksmith. Or do you want to discard like Xerosic and stuff? This is always weird, like your first turn of doing this, because we don't know what our opponent is playing. So I'm going to discard Double Fire, and then I'm going to Vespiquen for Sycamore, discard her hand, or Juniper, discard her hand, draw 7. New cards. Hopefully hit maybe a Tropical Beach. But let's see what can we find. There's a DC in the Combee. We'll put down Unknown, Eevee. Pharaoh Letter to discard a card, or discard the Unknown, draw a new card. We'll get a Flareon. Okay, so put down a Vespiquen, grab a Juniper. And we'll Vespiquen for a Blacksmith. Okay. And we'll just pass onto our opponent's turn. So what can happen next turn is we can put down Flareon, maybe Blacksmith onto the Flareon, maybe let the active get knocked out. I don't know. So 1, 2, 3. So 3 in the discard pile. Like I said, we don't know what we're playing against, so you always have to be careful on your first turn. Right now we're only hitting for 50 damage, which is not a lot, but that'll slowly change here in a second. So let's see what does NBA do here. Now double unknown, like I said, they have a Darkrai. Like it's so hard to tell what they're playing. Like Darkrai deck box, they had Fighting, I think, as their color choice in their little games. I don't know. But let's see, what does my opponent do here? They have double unknown, which makes you think they're playing some kind of discard deck. I just feel like they're playing a Vileplume deck. Like, I could be very wrong. Alright, there's a Combee, okay. Combee coming down. Maybe it's a mirror match. Maybe it's Flareon Vespiquen versus the same deck. Compressor going to discard 3 cards out of their deck. And let's see, what is it going to be? Is it Vespiquen Vileplume? If that's the case, we can battle Compressor to a Flareon, take a knockout on the Vespiquen if it does come up. So let's see what the VS or Battle Compressor discards for my opponent. This could be game changing depending on what they put in there. Waiting for that. Maybe it's a mirror match. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's another Flareon Vespiquen player versus us. They could be playing Glade in there instead, which could be really useful. When do we discard 3 VS Seekers? Oh no, we okay. Alright, okay, so there's a Flareon, Execute, and a Shaymin. Oh, we discarded 3 VS Seekers because I thought they were playing Vespiquen, Vileplume. Duh, that's why there's 3 VS Seekers in there. Whatever, we got this. Unknown Feral Letter. So yeah, it looks like it is a mirror match. Alright, guys, so can we win this or not is the big question. We are down a bunch of VS Seekers already because we thought our opponent was playing something else. So Ultra Ball going to discard 2 cards from their hand. And will they grab a Shaymin? If they put the Shaymin down, that's 2 free prize cards for us, which is great. And if he doesn't play Force, he can't attack. He can't get the first turn knockout, which is great for us as well. So let's see, what does the Ultra Ball get from my opponent? Looks like they discarded a Unknown and maybe a Flareon, or are they still deciding? I can't 100%. I can't remember 100%. No, they discarded these 3: Compressor and then Unknown Feral Letter to now play the Ultra Ball. Discard the Lysandre and a Fire Energy. Okay. All right. So like, do we Blacksmith or do we just Sycamore? So Jirachi coming out. Jirachi's great for us. They're going to get these Jirachi out. And will they find an In or Juniper? I imagine they'll play Juniper because they have 2 cards in their hand. Unless they don't want us to have these cards in their hand because we did double VS Seeker. But there's a Jirachi. You're going to use that Stardust or Stellar Guided Search for an EX, or not for EX card, a supporter card. And that's great for us. Jirachi coming down is a free 2 prize cards, basically. Unless they play AZ to pick it back up or Parallel City to discard their bench, draw 3 cards. And there's a Juniper going to their hand. Alright, guys, so how we're going to win this mirror match? Hopefully they play Computer Search instead of Life Dew. That could be a big thing to do as well. I saw the Life Dew in our deck, so that's great. But we'll probably see the Juniper. Fire Energy going out Combee, okie dokie. I am okay with this. If we top deck a Vespiquen, we actually need to top deck an Ultra Ball, then we'll be okay. So Juniper discarding a Fire Energy. Okay. So they have 4 Pokemon in the discard pile. They had more than we did on our first turn, which is upsetting. But whatever. We got this, guys. Don't worry too much. Now, I mean, I'm probably put down Flareon, DC the active, Juniper, draw a new hand of 7 if we don't top deck an Ultra Ball. But if we do top deck an Ultra Ball, I'm Ultra Ball, discard Combee and Juniper, get a Vespiquen, Blacksmith this guy, Vespiquen DC, take a knockout that way, and I'll have 2 attackers ready to go. So Propagation, gonna return that Execute to my opponent's hand, and they can, that's good. Like, Execute makes it where they can reuse anything over and over again, or reuse that card over and over again. So Ultra Ball, go discard the egg and another Lysandre. 2 Lysandres are gone, but they're not down to the VS Seekers like we are, which is going to be probably the bad thing about us. But we just gotta hope we don't put down our EXs. If we don't put down our EXs, that's great. We don't give a free. We don't get a free 2 prize cards up like my opponent did. I put his down. There's a Vespiquen going into their hand. Okay. And we'll most likely just see a pass. Compressor, okay, going to discard 3 more cards out of their deck. Alright, so I mean it's gonna be a battle. But we should be okay. Like, we'll take a knockout, then they take a knockout, we'll take a knockout, they take a knockout, we'll take a knockout, they take a knockout, and then we take an EX knockout, which is how you want to win this match, pretty much. It's kind of like who loses the team, because if they don't get a DC down, then they're okay. Like, if they're in a bad situation, if we don't get a DC down, we're in a bad situation. And the reason why I didn't attach this DCs is just in case my opponent does play like an enhanced stamp or something, but they receive a Compressor discarding Shaymin, Unknown, and something else maybe. Alright, so we will see a pass onto our turn. Most likely, I can't see my opponent really doing anything else. Tropical Beach and the little beach for 7 new cards. Alright, guys, so let's see what card do we get. Is it an Ultra Ball or not? And it's a Compressor. Alright, we're going to Compressor. And with the Compressor, we're going to discard Shaymin, and the Audino, because those guys are pretty much useless. Maybe discard some Wobbuffets next turn. And how many? Okay, so 3 DCs are in deck, which is great. We still have that last VS Seeker for our Blacksmith if needed. That's good as well. So we discarded those 3. We'll put a DC on the active, put down Flareon, and we are just going to Juniper. We'll put down Combee and Juniper, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards. And let's see, can we find a Vespiquen? Alright, there's a Vespiquen. We could put that down. We can Compressor, discard some cards out of our deck. We'll discard the Wobbuffets. Oh, not Vespiquen. That's a pretty good card to keep. And we will discard another Compressor. No, let's discard the Tropical Beach. Yeah, that'd be great. So we discard those three. And we will be revenge for the knockout. Now it's gonna be. Oh, we should. I don't know why I didn't put down the Eevee. We should have put down the Eevee. So 100 damage coming down. We can take a knockout on a Flareon or whatever. We got down 5 prize cards. That's a Vespiquen. All right. And on my opponent's turn, now it's gonna be the war time. Some ends might be happening. Some knockouts might be happening. So we see a Combee coming up. He can DC this guy. There's a Vespiquen coming down. Right now he is doing 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 damage exactly to knock out our Vespiquen as well, which is great for them. But my turn, I've definitely promoted this Combee. Put a DC on ticket that way so we can save our last Vespiquen for a what is it? For a I forget what the card. Blacksmith, there we go. Why is there not a floor Blacksmith? That would be really nice. Vespiquen coming to Axe Spot, and does want to have a DC or not? We have 2 in our hand, so we're good to go. As long as he doesn't end us, we can put down Vespiquen. And I should have put down this guy last turn. Don't know why I didn't. I guess I just was so excited to take a knockout, but whatever. Ultra Ball. Go and discard 2 cards from their hand, whether they get out of Flareon or Vespiquen. Alright, so now it's just going to come down to who misses a beat. Now, we do have 2 Junipers in the discard pile and 3 VS Seekers, which is going to hurt us. I guess we should have kept Shaymin in there as well, because we could use that to draw some cards. But whatever, guys, we got this. Maybe. Ultra Ball, gonna get, okay, we're still waiting. So they play Maxis as well. There's a Flareon coming down, okay. So let's see Flareon going down to Eevee. Most likely. Right? Right. Come on down, Flareon. And, what will my opponent do? I mean, imagine they have a DC. They'll put a DC in the active. Use Be Revenge for the knockout. There's Flareon. Alright. So, let's see. What will my opponent do? We also have that Xerosic, but Xerosic's not really going to be that helpful right now. Okay, there's a DC. So they will take a knockout this turn. But do they have an in is the big question on my mind. If they have an in, they can give us maybe a bad hand of 5. But right now, we're going to send the Combee, put Vespiquen, put a DC, put this guy down. Don't know why we didn't do it last turn. That's just a mistake on my part. Whatever. We might put down both Eevees, like, just try to get everything out of our hands. So that way, if he does in us, we can have, like, the best, like, probability of drawing cards. There's a course, so I'm going to get 6 cards off this course. Alright, so color shuffle your hand into deck and draw a number of cards for a number of bench Pokemon. We have 3 and he has 3, so that's 6, obviously. Okay, so there's another Vespiquen coming down the field, so 2 Vespiquen for my opponent. And we'll probably see a B-Revenge for the knockout, is what I imagine. Yep, there's B-Revenge for the knockout. My opponent got 5 prize cards, and like I said, it's now a war. But, like, anytime we top deck a Lysandre, we're definitely bringing that Jirachi up, taking a knock on it, go down to, like, take 2 prize cards, which is great. There's an Ultra Ball. So, we'll put down an Eevee, put down a Vespiquen, DC the active, and I will just be revenge for the knockout. Okay, so 120, blah, blah, blah. We go down to 4 prize cards. Give me a good prize card. And it is a Lysandre. There we go. That's a good card to have right there. Lysandre, bring up the Jirachi. Take 2 prize cards, going down to 2, which is great. On to my opponent's turn. Now, do they have a... Like I said, once they have an in, that's the main thing that's going to happen. When they play the in, are we going to whiff or not is the big question. I guess, like... The only downside was playing those VS Seekers early, but regardless, we would have to play those VS Seekers because we didn't have it in. But a DC going to the active, which is I know what opponent doesn't want to do. Like, he definitely just want to attach a Fire Energy and go B-Wrench that way and save the DC for later on. But that did not work out, but that's okay. Stuff does happen. But my turn, yeah, definitely going to bring up that Jirachi, take up knockout, go down to 2 prize cards before my opponent plays an in or something. But the only downside is we'll be down 3 DCs after that, and we'll have to find VS Seeker or something. There's a Getsas. Oh, we're going to get rid of that Ultra Ball. Okay, so you're going to draw 1 card off the Getsas. Okay. And he's going to see the Lysandre. He's going to see Flareon, whatever. But I don't know. Maybe we got this. Like I said, we can Lysandre Jirachi, take 2 prize cards, going at 2. But then he hits us. But if we hit a VS Seeker, we can knock him out. I think going for that play is the best way. We do have unknowns as well as in our deck, so that could be good. So instead of Flareon, on our turn, what do we get? We get an Eevee. So put down Flareon. We'll put down Eevee. We will DC the active. And yeah, I'm going to Lysandre, bring up this Jirachi. And I'm going to go for a Vengeance for the knockout. And also, we can waste a turn of using Tropical Beach since we didn't play. We didn't put down an EX, so we can like waste a turn of doing that. So we got 2 prize cards. There's a Jirachi and an N. Okay. The Jirachi, not so useful. I mean, there is a Juniper left our deck, so maybe that could be great. But with the DC, he can Lysandre at any moment to take his 2 prize cards, or last 2 prize cards. So on my opponent's turn, they're going to draw a card. And you might be asking, why did I not bench this Eevee? Well, I don't want my opponent to know we have a 0-card hand. So they might be expecting, like, that's a supporter card, and that's why we didn't put it down or something. Like, something you could do. So DC got a Flareon, okay. Like, Eevee coming down. Alrighty. And the question is, what do we do our turn? I mean, he's going to take a knockout. I'm going to send in the Flareon regardless, just because we do miss that Vespiquen. We do have 1 discarded, so 1 is, yeah. Oh, no, 3 are discarded, so 1 is left. There's a Juniper. Going to discard the hand, draw 7 new cards. And this card's double VS Seeker. Oh, two VS Seekers are gone, 2 Lysandres as well. 8 cards left for opponent, but he will win the game before that time ends. So Combee coming down as well. Okie dokie. And what will happen? This will be his first Flareon knockout as well, which is great for us, okay? But remember, we do have the VS Seeker. We do have Ends as well, so we have ways to get out energies. So we're down to 1 DC, but as long as we do take those last 2 prize cards, we'll be okay. So let's go Flareon. On to our turn. What do we get? Give me a top deck, and there's a Vespiquen, so put that guy down. We'll put down an Eevee. And we'll go for an end, put my opponent down to 2, but then we could Tropical Beach for 2 new cards. There's a Float Stone and a Life Dew. Oh my goodness, that Life Dew is going to be huge right now. So we're going to Float Stone, Life Dew the active, and we're going to Tropical Beach for 7 new cards. Alright, there's a DC and a Flareon and a VS Seeker. Oh my goodness, as long as he does not end us, we can win this game right now, because we could DC, Flareon, VS Seeker, for a Blacksmith and be great that way. Alright, so I'm feeling fairly confident now. I'm really, really happy. So, man, let's see what's going to happen. We also could, like, knock out Xerosic the DC and put him down to no DCs, but I think going for the Blacksmith combo wombo is great, because the only way he can counter that is if he plays Hex, not a Hex Maniac, an Enhanced Tamer and a Lysandre. They will lose that way. Propagation going to their hand, okay. And right now, he's not going to take a knockout on this Flareon as well, because, I mean, he will take a knockout, but he won't take a prize card because of the Life Dew. And he did Propagation, okay. And what will he get with this? Will he get an N? Like, does he have computer search for N? That could be devastating. He'll go down to 3, we'll go down to 2, but then he doesn't take a knockout, so then we're okay that way as well. So things are looking great for us. That Tropical Beach for 7 was amazing. That end of 2, getting the Life Dew and the Float Stone, just putting down a hand to 7. Tropical Beach for 7 is great, and that's why I love Tropical Beach in this deck. I know we didn't put it down, but my opponent put it down playing the mirror match, which does happen. Alright, and what will my opponent do? 2 to 3 prize cards, but we do have the Life Dew on the X spot. Does my opponent play Xerosic? Do they play Xerosic? I haven't seen one, I don't think. No Xerosic has been played. There is a computer search, so do they go for an N? Do they go for Xerosic? Do they go for Lysandre? There's a lot of different things to do. If I was an opponent, I might go for an N, unless you do play, I mean, Xerosic can pop the Life Dew, but that doesn't matter too much, because we have the DC, we have the Flareon, we can take a knockout and be A-okay, as long as the opponent does not have a Lysandre and, no, not a Lysandre, a Enhanced Tamer and a Lysandre. Yeah, they need both of those to counter our play. And let's see, what will the computer search give my opponent? Gonna put it in their hand, and will we see an N, or will we see a Lysandre, or will we see a Toe Scrapper? Will we see a Xerosic? Over his hands, Toe Scrapper in, that'd be amazing. But nope, and both will go down to 2, he goes down to 3, okay. And let's see, what do we get off the end of 2? There's a Fire and an Ultra Ball, so that's pretty much 2 useless cards. Alright. But what we can do next turn, our turn is put down a Fire Energy Evolution for Flareon. But he's not going to take a knockout. I mean, he's going to take a knockout, but he's not going to take a prize card. Silver Ring will go into the active, okay? And let's see, what will my opponent do now? So be Ranch for the knockout, do it 150 damage, but no prize card is taken, which is great. Thank you, Life Dew. We'll promote the Eevee. With the Float Stone, onto our turn, we get a Unown. So put down Unown. We will, I'm gonna Fire Energy this guy. Yeah, so I'm gonna Fire Energy for Flareon. Okay. And then I'm gonna Feral Letter. No, let's actually not Feral Letter. We're gonna Tropical Beach instead. So we're gonna Tropical Beach, get a new hand, okay. So there's a Juniper, okay, onto my opponent's turn. They're gonna draw a card. Alright, let's see, do they have an in or not? They can take a knockout this turn, but we can, Ultra Ball, discard like Jirachi, Xerosic, Float Stone guy, Seeker for a Blacksmith, but there's a be rich, it goes at 2 price cards. And yeah, alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna promote the Flareon, okay. Go Flare. We know there's a DC left in deck, correct? So we'll send the Flareon. That's fine. Alright, so in our turn, what do we get? There's an Ultra Ball. Alright, so I'm going to Ultra Ball, discard the Xerosic and the Combee. With this, we'll grab another unknown. Okay. Yeah, no, we're gonna grab the Flareon. Okay, so we'll grab the Flareon. I'm gonna then Ultra Ball, discard the Flareon and the Float Stone. With this, I'm gonna grab an unknown. Okay. We'll put down the unknown. We'll Seeker for a Blacksmith. Okay. We'll put Blacksmith on two fires on that guy. 1, 2. And I'm gonna Vengeance for the knockout. Okay, so we're gonna Vengeance for the knockout, do a ton of damage, and now my opponent either has the option of Hex Maniac or Inus, and if they Inus, we'll go down to 1 price card, but we have double unknown, so we should be able to hit this like a Juniper, Jirachi, DC. It'll be 3 out of the 7 cards, and if I don't think there's a way we can miss. 3 out of 7. I mean, we draw 1, take 2. There's always possibility of missing, right? But, I mean, the odds are very, very low. If he ends us, we'll be okay. We do have that DC left onto my opponent's turn. What he could do is maybe a Lysandre unknown, but we have a DC, we can just retreat it, so that's not a big deal. On my opponent's turn, gonna set Vespiquen. It has the free retreat. It does want to have it in or not. And they do have it in. We have Jirachi. We have the Juniper. We have a DC. There's a Compressor. Gonna discard 3 cards out of their deck. Okay. We could have went for the Xerosic play, and no, Xerosic would have been terrible. That would have been a bad play overall. Okay, so we're not, just glad we didn't go for Xerosic. So Compressor, discard his Pokemon, or whatever. And what really turned this game was that Jirachi being benched. Like, the Jirachi being benched hurt him a lot. Like, us discarding the Seeker was very bad as well. Do not get me wrong, that was a very, very bad thing that happened. The turn 1 when we discarded, all of our Seekers. But I really thought he was playing a Wobbuffet deck. So, whatever. Alright. So, what will our opponent do? I don't know. What will he do? He can't. I don't think there's no way he can win this game. If he plays it in, we go down to 1. And then it's going to see, does Unknown get us a DC or not? So there's a Blacksmith. Yes, we will win this game. We have a Juniper. We can discard our hand, draw 7 cards, play the Unknowns, and be A-okay, guys. So we're good to go. Boom, 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 boom. All right, cool. So 2 fighters, go to Flareon. Don't care about that. All right, guys, we will win this game. Blacksmith doesn't matter. It must be his only supporter card. Retreat to that guy. We'll take a knockout. Whatever. We got this. We got a Juniper. We'll discard our hand. Draw 7 cards. 190 coming down with that Flareon. And we will send in this Vespiquen. Now, something we could do this turn is I think we have the capability of putting all our Pokemon in the discard pile. So, Vespiquen coming up onto our turn. What we're going to do is we're going to Unknown number 1. We will Unknown number 2. Alright, so 1 card left in our deck. After this, there's the DC. We'll DC to the active. We'll Juniper, discard our hand, draw 7 cards, and we'll be revenge for a ton of damage. 1 Battle Compressor left to go as well. So be revenge for 270 damage, and we'll win the Vespiquen Flareon mirror match, guys. There's another Juniper going to our hand, and there we go. We discarded all Pokemon to do 270 with Vespiquen, which you really don't see happening that much. But guys, we'll see one more game with the deck here in a second. I know that one's fairly long, but we did see how to play the mirror match, which might happen. It might happen at regionals. Who knows? But yeah, we'll see one more game with the Vespiquen Flareon deck, and we'll see what happens in the next game. Hopefully, it's another exciting game. Oh, knock out 30 Pokemon with your non-base Pokemon. Okay, that was 6. Alright, guys, we'll see what happens in the next game. Alright, so bringing Black Luster Susie, playing a fire and a water deck, so it's definitely going to be Volcanion. Alright, guys, now, we do not hit Volcanion for weakness. He is weak to, pretty sure, water. We won the Clean Flip, which is great. Alright, so on our turn, yes, and let's see what's going to happen. Are they playing Victini deck? They have the Victini sleeves. Oh, that could be fancy. Alright, so press done. Oh, it's a Huntail Ho-Oh deck. Ooh, how does this work again? I'm not sure how this matchup works. They're not really going to be attack turn number 1 unless they get a Ho-Oh out. Okay. So we got a Wobbuffet start. We could Wobbuffet and make it where he can't use Ho-Oh. Oh my goodness, that's really good. So press done. Wobbuffet's going to stop my opponent from doing that. That's amazing. So press done, okay? A Wobbuffet start is going to hurt my opponent's Ho-Oh so much. Oh my goodness. Alright. So there you go. Put a Pokemon in the Axe spot. Yes, we'll draw with a Mulligan. There's a Vespiquen. Okay. I'll press done. And there's a Ho. Oh, he even started a Ho, which is not good. Oh, he's weak to water. He's not. Oh, I thought he was weak to lightning like the other one. So, Unown will Compressor. And with the Compressor, we'll discard. Is there an in here? I really want to discard an in. Alright, so in. Oh, the victory screen coming down. My opponent realized they cannot win the game because Wobbuffet is in the axe spot. Oh my goodness, that totally messed up. It did not hurt. Oh my goodness. So you see how good, like, I know this game was really quick, whatever. We'll put it in there for sure. But you can see how good Wobbuffet is. Like, we weren't going to rely on our Shaymin this turn, but we can still use the Unowns. But Wobbuffet stops the Unown from using the Rebirth ability, which, if it's in the discard pile, flip a coin of heads, attach 3 energies to it, and bring it out to your bench. And that totally just stopped my opponent. So we'd be able to set up while they couldn't get Ho-Ohs out unless they had Lysandre around it. And there, guys, we'll see one more game with the deck. We'll see a third game with the Vespiquen. But I mean, I'm just trying to prove how good Wobbuffet is and why it's in the deck. All right, guys, we'll see one more game with the deck here in a second, and hopefully it's another victory. All right, putting against Tortic 1000, playing a Fire Colors in a water deck. I don't know why I said Psychic. So it's another Huntail deck, or is it something different? We're going. Oh my goodness, we're going first again. Oh, the luck is on our size. It's on our size tonight, guys. What size? What's going on? But pretty good hand. Combee, Eevee, Compressor, blah blah blah. Waiting for opponent to choose an active Pokemon, and we'll see what's going to happen. What is Tortic 1000 playing? Are they playing the Huntail Ho-Oh deck or not? So Combee, gonna put the Pokemon down. Hopefully they are playing that. They do not start with another Ho-Oh like last time. So gonna put our prize cards out, and there is an Entei. Alright, so Entei is gonna come down onto the field. So we're Compressor, and with Compressor we're gonna discard like Audino. Jolteon seems pretty much useless, and we'll discard a Juniper. Alright, so discard those 3. And do we just, like, pass? Like, I'm really tempted to just pass because we have the DC, we have everything else we pretty much need. So yeah, I'm just going to end my turn right now. Next turn, we have a Vespiquen, have a Flareon. We're good to go to attack next turn. So yeah, I'm fine with just passing, and that doesn't give my opponent a new hand. So maybe they have a bad hand, but there's a Hypno, Toxic Laser coming down. It tells we would not go Night-Night, okay? So Comet Blaze 20, this attack does 20 more damage to each of your opponent's bitch Pokemon, and Burning Roar, discard top 4 cards of your deck if any of those are fire energy attached to your Pokemon any way you like. There's a Fighting Field, go in the active, give that Entei 160 HP, Fire Energy, and a Sycamore. Go and discard the hand, draw 7 new cards. Discards an AZ, Tool Scrapper, and an Ant. So they do discard that Tool Scrapper, which is fantastic for us, because that means they might not have a way to get rid of our Life Dew. So there we see a Ultra Ball for Volcanion. Alright, so definitely gonna be a fire deck. Alright, so Volcanion, Entei, and a Pass, Poison, onto our turn. Alright, so what do we get? We get a Fire Energy. So I'm put down a Vespiquen. I wish I got that Fire Energy last turn, I'm not gonna lie to you. So, Vespiquen coming down, Flareon, DCE, and I'm actually going to use Shaymin set up for 4 new cards, because we need to discard a bunch of Pokemon. So, let's use Shaymin. Come on down, buddy. Give me something good. Alright, there's an Unown. We will Combee, and we're going to end. Give us both 6 new cards. Let's see what can we find with this in. Hopefully, discarding that Pokemon, and oh my goodness, that's nowhere near right now to knock out anybody. So, Feral Letter number 1. Discard the Unown, draw a new card. There's a Wobbuffet, so Unown number 2. We'll put that down. Feral Letter again. Discard another Unown. Hopefully hit an Ultra Ball. Okay, nope, an Eevee. We'll put that guy down. And we need 7 attackers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We haven't discarded any Eevees yet. So I think we're just fine right now. And do we just retreat? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll go for a B-Revenge right now. Just hit it for 60. Kind of soften it up. Next turn, he can knock us out 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The next turn, we can knock it out with a Flareon. Maybe the other another Vespiquen if we want to. There's a Battle Professor. Go and discard 3 cards out of their deck. And let's see what my opponent put in there is a big question. So how do we deal with this EX deck? We've seen it. We've seen Vespiquen Flareon play against a non-EX deck. Now it's time to see how to... Well, maybe they're not playing EXs. Maybe they're just playing non-basic fire Pokemon, which could probably be even worse for us. But Compressor, discarding a Blacksmith, Lysandre, and a Xerosic. Looks like that's what it was. And there's a fighter to the active. We'll see combo abilities for a ton of damage. We are weak. A Volcania coming down, and there's a knockout. Okay, so 220, because we are weak to fire. Okay, fair enough. And I think it was sitting the Combee, because I really want to save my Flareons for the Blacksmith plays. Alright, so put a DC in the active. Will Juniper discard her hand, draw 7 new cards, and can we find a Vespiquen or not? There's an Ultra Ball, which is great. So Ultra Ball, discard 1 and 2. We'll get out the Vespiquen. Hopefully we have enough Pokemon discard. But I think I did math right. Correct. Last turn, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my goodness, we actually don't have enough right now. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are 1 short. Oh my goodness, I did the math wrong. So put down a Vespiquen. We'll put a Life Dew. We'll Shaymin, set up for 4 new cards. We need to find another Ultra Ball or Compressor. Oh man, Squeaky did the math wrong, and there's an Ultra Ball and a Compressor. That's great. So a Compressor, and with Compressor, we'll discard 1, 2, 3. Let's see. So we'll take a knockout. We'll then have 1, 2, 3, 4 attackers. I think I'm gonna discard just that much. Leave 1 in there and discard a Compressor. Oh no, discard the Blacksmith. That's what we really need. We need that Blacksmith. So we'll discard those. We'll put down a Combee or another Eevee, because we haven't discarded Flareon yet, and we'll be rich for the knockout. Okay, there we go. 130. What? Oh my goodness, what math am I doing? I forgot we already. I didn't do the plus 20. Oh my goodness, that was okay. Whatever. We're going on 5 prize cards. So don't tell anybody I did that. All right, so my opponent's turn. We can knock out a Volcania automatically, which is great. Now if they do, okay, so there's that guy. So Power Heater's not going to knock us out. Okay, so 30, 60, still not a knockout. Okay. But we don't hit for 170, so there's a VS Seeker, 4-8 Sycamore. Go ahead and discard the hand, draw 70 cards. They need to find a Volcanion EX. If they can find that, then they can hit enough for a knockout. Alright, guys, can my opponent find that or not? There's another Volcanion, okay. Quad Volcanion right now, so 5 people going to another guy, okay. A Shaymin coming out, yay! Shaymin, alright. So Shaymin set up, get those cards, and now we can VS Seeker for Lysandre to bring it up for a knockout. There's a Power Heater for 60 damage, not even enough for a knockout. Oh my goodness. Woo! They need that Volcania, but 2 Volcanias do get fire energies, and to our turn. Okay. So we get a Compressor. I'm gonna put down Flareon. I think I'm just gonna VS Seeker for a Lysandre. Yeah, I'll put a DC on this guy. We'll VS Seeker for a Lysandre. Bring up that Shaymin, take a knockout on it right now, which seems great to me. So, yeah, bring up that guy. We will be revenge for the knockout. Oh, let's compress it first. Discard some stuff out of our deck that we don't need. Like, we don't need this Vespiquen anymore. Don't need this Eevee either. We'll have all the Eevees down. Wait, no, we have one more spot. No, hold on. No, we have, yeah, so that's enough. We discard those. And we will discard another Compressor. Yeah, we'll discard those. We'll put a Float Stone on this guy, and we'll be revenge for the knockout. Go down to 3 prize cards. Alright, so 150 damage. We'll go down to 3. Alright, guys, so 1 and 2. And that's all it takes. Your opponent puts down a Shaymin. Alright, so Unown and a Flareon. Here comes Volcanion. Ultimate opponent's turn. And things are looking great for us right now. Now, remember, he does play that Xerosic, so that could make things interesting for sure. There's a VS Seeker for the Xerosic, I imagine. Yep, there's a Xerosic coming down. But remember, we do play those, we play, what, 2 more? Oh, he discards the Life Dew, actually. Alright, he could have Xerosic discard the DC, which I think would have been a smarter play. But whatever, I'm down with that. Okay, so he's gonna take a knockout, and we'll take a knockout this guy. So Power Heater for the knockout, 140 damage, whatever. Put a Fire G on that guy, okay? Alright, so go down 4 prize cards. We'll set up Flareon on to our turn, and what's gonna happen? He needs back-to-back Lysandres and a Fire G. So there's a Juniper, okay? So put down the Flareon. We'll put down the Unown, and we'll just... No, let's Juniper first. Let's Juniper, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards, looking for another DCE. Alright, we'll put a Fire Energy on this guy, Float Stone on this guy, and we will be our vengeance for the knockout. I'm at 107, which knocks out a regular Flareon, a regular Volcanion, which is great. So we get a Pokemon Ranger. I don't think there's any more fires left, but that's okay. Ultra opponents, so they're going to draw a card. I guess we should have fired J the Unown. That would have been a little bit better. But whatever, guys. I still feel vaguely confident. We haven't seen Volcanion EX coming down. I guess they're just playing like Quad Volcanion Entei. Alright. But whatever, there's an Ultra Ball. Go and discard 2 cards from their hand. And can they find another Fire Energy? If they cannot, they actually want to take a knockout. They need to do 100 damage with Steam Artillery. And, like, that's how good Life Dew is. Your opponent has to play around it. There's Ultra Ball discarding a Verbeek City Gem and a Fisherman. Okay. Alright. Oh, what could be bad? No, they're taking knockouts regardless. Like, I was gonna say, maybe... Oh, a Reshiram, okay. I was gonna say, maybe they play, like, lasers so we stay asleep, but they're taking a knockout either way, so we don't care about that too much. I was gonna say, maybe we use Audino, but Audino is not gonna help us at all. Alright, so there's a Fire Energy go to the active. We'll see Steam Artillery for the knockout, but... 110, alright, so go down to 3, and now we pretty much won this game as long as we do not whiff anything. So in our turn... We get it, Flareon. Alright, so we're going to Ultra Ball, discard the Flareon and the Ranger. Alright, let's look at our deck real quick. So there's nothing in here. There's a Ultra Ball, VS Seeker, Tropical Beach, a DCER. So discard, we'll say whatever. We'll VS Seeker. For a Blacksmith, we will Blacksmith Flareon. Okay. Put 2 energies in that guy. 1, 2. Alright, so put 2 fire energies in that guy. We retreat. Into the Flareon we'll use the Heat Tackle, or Vengeance for the knockout, sorry. Alright, so there we go, 200 damage. How many? We have 1 VS Seeker in our hand, 1 right there. And there's the game coming down. My opponent realized they cannot win the game. And there, guys, there's the Flareon Vespiquen deck. You see why it's so good. I mean, we've been playing against EXs, but a lot of the decks online right now are not EXs in the expanded, and I don't know why. Like, I played against several Night March games, which were just using my opponent conceding very fast, because I don't know why. Like, basically, Flareon can always, like, really beat Night March, and I don't know, because they have to put down so many Shaymins, and you don't, so you can win the game that way. There, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed learning about Vespiquen Flareon. The mirror match was pretty intense. The turn 1, my opponent scoop, because we started Wobbuffet, was pretty cool, which you can see why Wobbuffet is strong and why it's needed deck. But, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe button. Hopefully you think about this deck for regionals. I think it is a really strong consideration. But, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Hit that subscribe button. Alrighty. Bye. Alright, guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.